you while he's speaking.
Good evening and welcome to our first Illini Honor Concert Band. Other conferences have done this in the past, and the directors this year want to try this experience. So on stage, you have several all-state musicians, many district-level musicians. Many students have done the honor bands across the state and even some across the country. And so we want to, each director kind of put together a list of 9 to 10 of their top students, and we kind of put in this special ensemble tonight. And then we brought in a conductor, and we worked with the conductor worked with them all day, and we're here tonight to present a concert. The 3 tunes, so they're doing 3 tunes, so it's a very short concert, 15, 20 minutes or so of music, but the level of music is at the difficulty level that you would find at the district level. And we didn't have as much time as they do at some of the district festivals. So this tonight is some good challenging music and a chance to work with a great conductor. And about that conductor, there is a nice bio in your program. This gentleman has done so much for the world of concert bands here in the United States. He was at Lasser High School for many years, and now he basically is going around the country doing all-state honor bands, special symposiums. He is not only a great educator for the students, he's a great educator for teachers. Every time I've been watching him conduct or in a seminar, I just take a lot of pages of notes. And if you talk to your sons and daughters, you'll find out that the great experience that they had today, working with him and through the concert this evening. It's very special to have this gentleman here. So please welcome, for the first time, our Mid-Illini Honors Concert Band and their conductor, Alfred Watkins.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to perform for you this evening. I've been in Central Illinois in 4 or 5 years, and it's always a pleasure to come back. I had forgotten that I was the first conductor of this particular band from this particular community. So I'm more than flattered and honored to be able to come and share with these fine students in this lovely, lovely place. It was Mount Everest by Rossano Galante, the peaks and valleys of the tallest peak in the world. And it's a great opener, it's a great introduction to the group. Can you believe that we just started this morning? And give them a nice round. The beauty of the arts is the training of the child in the classroom. It's what you see in front of us. The teachers and directors in this area are the ones that allow for these students that are, for the most part, strangers. And of course, some of them are from the same school, and they go to the same. But at the end of the day, they're strangers, much like we are as an audience member. And for them to be able to put an all-star group together and perform like a college band is really a compliment to you and to them. The next piece we're going to play is entitled Our Castaways. It's written by the American composer, a lovely lady by the name of Julie Giroux. Julie is Cajun, lives in New Orleans, born and raised. Spends most of her life writing music that you've heard over and over and over again, but didn't quite know where it came from. She's what we call a ghost writer. So she writes music for occasions without having her name attached to it. She writes for the Academy Awards, the Tonys, the Grammys, and several television shows. Sometimes that background music that we hear and we don't hear at the same time, it's a good chance that Julie wrote that. As I mentioned to the band earlier, when Clint Eastwood walks on stage at the Academy Awards to present a special Oscar, he makes his entrance from the rear of the stage with just a spotlight on him. And we're all so excited that Clint Eastwood comes out, or Steven Spielberg, or someone that we recognize as a part of our daily life. And they come out and the music sounds kind of like Clint Eastwood, or kind of like Steven Spielberg. Julie wrote it. It won't be like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly from Clint Eastwood. It won't be Jaws, it won't be Indiana Jones. They're going to sound kind of like it. And what they do is they pay ghostwriters to write music similar to what we recognize as being the themes of these individuals. And Julie does that very, very well. She's also a writer for the orchestra, the choir, for small ensembles, and the concert band. This particular work, Our Castaways, is written in honor of pets, particularly cats and dogs. Some that survived being alone, and some that did not survive alone. And I've got to show you the score. The band directors in the house may not know this. When she decided to write the piece based on pets, she asked those of us on her Facebook page, which was 5,000 band directors, to send in photographs of our cats and dogs. And they're all of these squares. You probably can see a little bit from the distance. But there's more. Hers are here. And it's for the ones that survived and the ones that were cast away. And so the music kind of reflects that. It's two personalities. It starts off rather sad in a minor key, as if there's a lonely pet that we drive past occasionally on our cold ride home in the winter. And we see it. Bone-chilling cold, we call it. We wonder whether it has a home or not, but we're afraid to pick it up and take it home because our spouse won't like that. And so we oftentimes will pass them by. And we wonder, and Julie wonders, what kind of life will they continue to live? And the other subject that we rescue from various places, we bring into our home and make them a part of our family, and yesterday gives them our last name. So it's for those that this piece is written, Our Castaway. It's kind of slow, not too sad, but all of a sudden it becomes this beautiful little word. And it comes back to how it began. I think it's a lovely little jewel to play, and the students have done a lovely job of preparing it. Hope you enjoy Our Castaway. Grandparents and parents. I'm a parent also. And when my sons, who are now 34 and 31, and they're okay, when they were coming through the schools, I was worried about the music that they listened to. And I thought we were just going to lose that whole group of people because I thought they were all about crazy. And so if you worry, grandparents, about the grandkids, these are going to be okay. Some of the other ones, not so sure. And to the parents, when you worry about the child and the music they listen to, and oh my gosh, I just about can't stand it, and turn it down, or why do you listen to that music? It's going to just ruin you. They say the same thing about us. Yes, parents, and yes, grandparents. And we came and turned out just fine. It's because of the fine arts in our community. The fine arts in our community give us a reservoir of emotions that some people don't have that don't have the fine arts. I'm absolutely amazed when I come into this building. It's really an LA Fitness. You got a lovely LA Fitness with a beautiful 1,000-seat concert hall on the end of it. Or you got a beautiful concert hall with a gym down the way. You even change the flooring when you get to this part of the building. If you haven't noticed, the rest of it is tile. When you get into the artistic part of it, they put carpet. I don't know if it's easy on the feet or because with older people already they respect the fact that the fine arts are somewhat different than the LA Fitness component. It doesn't happen in many places. I do these concerts all over the country, and they're in gymnasiums, they're in broom closets, and they're in wherever else they can stick something that typically plays the lights on. But it's something about your community here in Central Illinois that you and your community have convinced the power structure that the fine arts are important. So I spent the day talking to them about life as an artist. And yes, they're young artists, but they're artists nevertheless. As you just heard their art being presented. I talked to them about our relationship with the great artists of the world. And parents and grandparents, when they act a little different, and you worry about them. The artists and the fine artists of the world are kind of different from the rank and file people. We see life out of a different set of lenses. We can have a conversation with an artistic genius in a split second that most people may not be able to have. We can talk to Shakespeare just by reading him and having him to go in. We can talk to Beethoven. We can talk to Brahms by singing their music. We can talk to Julie Giroux, the new piece in their vocabulary. And they'll sing it all night and you'll never know it. And they have this conversation with geniuses at any point in time. If your child is a jazzer, they can listen to Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Miles Davis, and Louis Armstrong in their head, and they would look like they're normal. And so when they're in class, artistic students tend to be bright because it's a brain bath, left and right hemispheres all the time, the analytical and the artistic side of the brain. So it does massage them every time they perform music in a music class. This data, scientific data that proves that. But more importantly, these are young artists, and guide them into whatever artistic endeavors that they find to be important to them. And what will happen to them is, as they move through life, they will be able to write through poetry, or through prose, or through piano, or through playing the oboe. Sometimes they're happinesses, or in the case of Julie, sometimes they're sadness. Or in the case of the opening composer, he probably went to Mount Everest or saw it in a documentary, or was hanging out around it, or myself looking at it in a picture. Maybe for the first time at 5 years old, and it comes out when you're 35. So they're going to be okay. The next election is, before I introduce the next election, I'd like for the teachers in this lovely community that I hope are in the orchestra section downstairs, I'd like for them to stand. I'd like for the band and I, along with the audience members, to thank them for their dedication, their service to education. Would you please stand and be recognized, wherever the band directors are now. They're over here. Spouses and significant others. They're happiest when they're together. They're a little weird. And so let them hang together, talk together. They're rather harmless people. So you don't have to worry about them. See, they hear them laughing over there? Yeah. But that's just a part of being an artist. I taught high school for 37 years. And every faculty meeting, the coaches sat right over here. And they looked like coaches, functioned like coaches, thought like coaches, and they were coaches. I left them alone. Because they were happiest at that part. The English teacher sat here. Yeah. The media specialist, they call them, sat in the front row. Yeah. I, along with the fine arts teachers, back row. And so that's a part of what makes us unique and part of what makes us give to others. The last piece we're going to play for you comes from my part of the country. I'm from Metro Atlanta. We gave you Coca-Cola. We gave you the world's busiest airport, Chicago. And we gave you the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He's from my hometown. And although we have the Atlanta Falcons and the Braves and the Bulldogs and all those are kind of transplanted people that come to our neighborhood for various types of things. But we raised Coca-Cola. We raised the airport. And yes, we raised MLK. This piece is from our part of the country. It comes from the Shape Note manual that has been around in Americana going forever. So it's the songs that they sang at the turn of the century and before. This was entitled Down in the River. It comes from the spiritual component primarily, when the back half of the lyrics are down in the river to pray for a better day. And at that time, the part of the country where I'm from, and my particular ethnic group was so oppressed at the turn of the century, all that we could do was pray. And then other members of the southern community, they prayed for rain, for the crops. I suspect that happens here. They prayed for other things that would help them through their days. So it just became a southern tune. The arranger, Jay Bocook, introduces it. Listen very carefully. The clarinets will play the melody. Then it gets answered by another group of woodwind players, and you kind of recognize if you don't know it, it'll sound familiar to you because of the harmonic structure. They all kind of fall in the same harmonic palette. But then he opens it up and he plays these new melodies that just create a contrasting section in the middle. Then all of a sudden, listen for the Down in the River to Pray comes back. And it snippets come back, and it comes back, and it comes back, and just near the end, he gives you the tune, this full regalia, a big song, big chorale, and then it ends on a bang. So we hope you enjoy Down in the River.